best boxing content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and punch that bell for notifications.
Without further ado, Boxing World Weekly, speaking with welterweight prospect Xander Zayas, coming off maybe your biggest performance to date. What did that mean to you?
Well, it was a tough opponent. We had a guy that was eight wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, 8 wins by knock, 5 wins by knockout. I'm sorry. We knew he was a tough guy, but we also knew that he couldn't handle the pressure, and that's what we did. The beginning of the bout, we tried to put the pressure. We got the knockout. I feel great. It was a great performance. I mean, even though it was 56 seconds. My team is happy with my performance, and that's what it matters.
Yeah, would you actually say it was your biggest outing yet?
It was one of the biggest. I think the one before that one was also a big step up. I showed that I could box. I showed that I could last in 6 rounds. I showed that all my abilities to put the power shots together and box. So. It's just getting better. It's just getting better, and one of my biggest, of course.
And like you said, he was supposed to provide like a bigger challenge for you, and it only took you 56 seconds to get him out of there. Was there something in that first minute where you were like, "Oh, I can make quick work of him"?
Yeah. Well, when I saw him walk out, when the bell rang and I saw him walk out and he had the chin up, I said, now it's just a matter of time. Now I have to get him in the right position, get him in the right spot, and I know I will do my work. I know that hook that I hit him with, that first hook, it was something that we was working on throughout camp. So he hit me with a nice right hand at the beginning, and then I'm like, all right, let me get him to throw it again so I can bait him in and then throw my hook, and that's exactly what I did. I knew that every time he threw the right hand, the hand was coming down, it wasn't going back to the chin. And he also had the chin up, so I just draw him into me, cut the distance for me, and I just connected a nice hook.
Nice. So I'm assuming that that's what you do for all your fighters going forward, is you always take something from them and adapt to them as you go in.
100%. That's the sport of boxing. You always have to adapt. You always have a game plan, but at the end of the day, that game plan might change in the middle of the fight, so you have to be able to adapt. And that's what I did last fight.
How did it feel to have fans back?
Man, it felt amazing. It felt amazing in Kissimmee, Florida, where it's like another city of Puerto Rico with other Puerto Rican fans. It was a whole Puerto Rican card. It was just an amazing feeling to, have the fans back, screaming our names, cheering for us and just being excited to see us fight. So I was I'm excited and I can't wait to do it again. I can't wait. It was a long time without them.
Yeah, for sure. And let's get right into that, actually. This was your second fight in 2021. What's the rest of the year look like for you?
Man, I want to fight at least 6 times this year. I want to keep stepping up in competition. I want to end up the year fighting 8-rounders. And the most important one, win prospect of the year. That would mean a lot to me. I'm working hard to, get that accomplishment. And I'm gonna put in all the work. I'm gonna put in all the dedication. I'm gonna stay focused to make my dream come true.
I mean, 6 fights in 1 year, that could not only get you prospect of the year, but that could get you fighter of the year.
Man, right now I'm settled for prospect of the year. I know that fighter of the year will come once I'm fighting for a world title, once I'm fighting for something a little bit bigger. But again, the goals are set. I have my mind in the goals that I want to accomplish this year. And the most important one, like I said, is prospect of the year. I'm looking forward to get that.
Do you have an opponent in mind right now? Is there someone that your team has been talking about?
Every opponent does send me. I've never say no. It's always a yes for me. I know I'll be ready. I know I put in the work. I know I put in the dedication in. My team is confident in me. I'm confident in myself.
On an overall note of this pandemic, it looks like there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I just want to know if anything came out of this pandemic that taught you something that maybe you wouldn't have known if the pandemic never happened.
Patience. I think that was the most important part, having patience with, people outside of my family, not, some people not following protocol, not wearing the mask, So I think that was being at home in quarantine, not being able to train, um, a lot of stuff that not just me, but a lot of people went through. That kind of like created that patience, that created that mindset of, all right, things are gonna get better, but for now you have to be patient and just wait. And I think that was the biggest factor in my life with the pandemic. When it happened, I was kind of like going. I was fighting almost every month, and having to stop and not train and just having myself on hold was kind of desperate. But I learned to have patience, and here we are today, 8-0.
I'm sure there's some day-to-day stuff that also changed. What does a day in Xander Zayas' shoes look like today?
Well, I wake up, eat, go to the gym, put the work in. Then I come back home. I do my therapy, my physical therapy. Recovering is very important, and a lot of people don't understand how important it is. But I started to understand that. I started to understand that my body needs to rest. So I take maybe a nap, or I do a physical therapy, and then at night I go for a run, and that's my day every day. I do it every day. Every morning I wake up, I go to the gym, I go do my physical therapy, and then I go run. And maybe sometimes at night I do another training. It depends on how my body feels. But I like to stay busy. I like to keep my mind busy, focus on what I want to do, and I just I dedicate myself to be focused.
Yeah. Am I right in saying that you're still studying criminal law?
Right now I'm not into it as much as I want to be, because I'm fighting almost every 2 months, every month. So I don't have the time to go and study criminal law right now. But in the future, once the fights start getting a little separate, the schedule start to separate a little. I will most definitely go into the college and start studying criminal law, because I love that. It's something that helps the community, something that I've always wanted to do since little. So I'm looking forward to going into college and start studying criminal justice.
Nice. Now, I mean, Xander Zayas, that doesn't need any more flair to it than it already has. But is there some nicknames out there that have been thrown around that you might decide to go with going forward?
Man, right now, a lot of people call me X. Xander, just my name is pretty unique. I like how my name sounds. Not a lot of boxers you're gonna hear with the name Xander Zayas. So for now, Xander Zayas is working. Maybe in the future, the fans choose a nickname that they like. They all go with it, and maybe I'll go with that. But for now, Xander X. That would be it for now.
Nice. Now, you grew up watching the likes of Miguel Cotto. I just want to know, who right now in the sport do you look up to?
Well, right now in the sport, I look up to Saul Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, and Tyson Fury. Those are boxers that I look at, and it makes me dream big. It makes me want to push myself to be like them, and be a world champion in multiple divisions like they are.
Pretty funny topic during fight week about the ring size. I'm not going to ask your opinion on that, but I want to know if you have a favorite ring size.
Man, I don't believe in ring size. I believe in going in there and do my job. I work hard. I put the dedication in. The ring shouldn't be something that I should be worrying about fight week or even in camp. Whatever ring, even the smaller ring, the better. So they don't have nowhere to run. So I could put the pressure. I could show them who that Xander Zayas is here. But for me, the ring doesn't matter. The ring size is just something that I don't pay attention to.
Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor. Do you have plans for that fight, and who do you have winning?
Watch it here with my family.
Yeah.
And I would love Jose Ramirez to win. Josh Taylor is a great champion. But Jose Ramirez, he's Hispanic. He's somebody that I look up to too, and just a humble dude overall. And I just want him to win.
Yeah, for sure. shifting focus a bit, we're starting to prepare a documentary actually on trainers, and I'd like to know or ask you some questions about your trainers. Am I right in saying that Orlando and Javier are still your trainers?
Yes, Orlando, my dad, and Javier, my head coach. They are still both my trainers, and man, that's just like the dynamic duo, the dream team.
Now, what do they bring to the table for you?
Man, they bring everything. You know, the connection that we have. You know, living with my dad and him seeing me every day. You know, seeing my coach every day for the past 5 years. That we have all of us, all three of us, have created a communication that I feel like no, I can't create that with nobody else. You know,
Mm-hmm.
the dynamic. You know, they think the same way. The only thing that my dad thinks it in Spanish and my coach thinks it in English, and they tell me the same thing in two different languages, but the dynamic is always there. Today, even today, we were working on stuff, and my dad was telling me in English and in Spanish, and then coach was like, yeah, I was thinking that just now. So you know, the dynamic is just amazing, and it's something that you create with time, and we've created that, and I can't wait to show the world that you don't need a big coach or a big name coach to be a world champion. You just need to have the dynamic and have the right connection.
Besides the languages, do they differ in styles that they're trying to teach you, or what do they bring different to the table?
The style, they always in the same page. They literally talk about the same thing. Fight to fight, we work on a game plan, and they are in the same page. On putting my punches together, throwing the right combinations, throwing the right power shots, having the footwork, having the head movement, everything that we work on is on building for when I get the opportunity for a world champion, to be there and show up. But we just keep growing. We just keep growing. We just keep learning and keep getting experience.
Yeah, for sure. Outside of you giving them credit after every win, obviously, do you think in general trainers get enough credit for what they do?
I don't feel like some trainers get the credit they deserve. That's why I always try to, give credit not just to my trainers but to my whole team, because behind the scenes a lot of people don't see the work, and the sacrifice other people have to put in to be to be with me in camp. My dad has the job, and sometimes he's tired, but he still has to go to the gym with me at night. So, those are sacrifices that a lot of people don't see, and some people don't give the credit to the trainers. And that's what I love, showing them love and showing them the respect they deserve, because they put in the work. They put in the work. They're here with me day in and day out, and no excuses.